Hey everybody. So I'm here in Yerushalayim Ir HaKodesh, the holy city of Jerusalem. I'm here on a momentum trip with a group of men, 75 men of all over North America, 7 of us from South Florida. And I just want to share with you some impressions and some ideas that hit me since I've been here and even before I got here. And it all started actually on the plane ride with a gentleman sitting next to me. He was not so much, a little bit younger than me. Tough Israeli man, still in Miluim, still spends time in the army. And he's told me he was in Lebanon for a number of times. He spent many, many days in Lebanon this past year. And he said, whatever you read in the newspapers of what they discovered, of the armaments, of the sophistication of what they had planned to do against Israel, 20%. It was far vast and worse. And he said, if anything, there was a silver lining, if you will, from the tragedy of October 7th that started the whole process where Israel is now actively fighting our enemies rather than passively waiting for something to happen. He said that what Hezbollah had planned, they had more armaments, they were better trained, they had better weaponry. He said Kiryat Shmona, God forbid, they would have gone in there before anyone could have reacted. Tens of thousands would have been killed. So if there's any silver lining, if you will, from the whole tragedy of October 7th, he was pointing out, this was one of them. And I would suggest that there's another one. And that is, we went to the Nova Festival, the area where the Nova Festival was, where all those young souls were taken and killed by Hamas. And there was Jews of all types there, all from all over the country, going there to connect, to feel. And it happened to be that there was the parents, the father of one of the hostages who's still in Gaza, Ron Gvili. And there happens to be also what they'd set up there, which was just incredible. In this open field, this open area, there's a sofer, there's a scribe, and he's writing a Sefer Torah for the merit, the zchut, to redeem this particular hostage, this one hostage. And all Jews of all types, religious, not religious, Israelis, Americans, the guys with me, lining up to write a letter in that Sefer Torah, to make a donation, once again, that the merit that he should get out of Gaza, he should be redeemed from there. And the father spoke with us, even though his father's been going through this hell for over a year, did an impromptu talk, thanking us for coming, him thanking us. One can only imagine the pain that he's going through. But he wasn't walking around mournful. He was talking to us. He got his wife on the phone, video called us, speaking to us. And so telling us how we have to do whatever we can to get those hostages out, whatever efforts we can make. And then also Rabbi Berkowitz, the Rosh Hashiva of Eshet Torah, he spoke to our group. And he said something very, very fascinating. And I've heard this, but the way he put it, he said on October 8th, the unity, the sense of unity that was in Israel was unbelievable. It was the most incredible feel that all Jews, no matter what type they were, all the arguments just immediately disappeared, were gone. Unfortunately, as he pointed out, in the past year, he said primarily because of politicians and media, we've lost that sense. And when he was saying this, I turned to my friend Ephraim Shor, who's our tour guide, who lives in Israel. He said, was it like that? He goes, yeah. The day after October 7th, the feeling of family and unity and oneness, he never, ever felt it like that, ever in all his time here in Israel. And that's what we need to take away. Again, we're losing that sense, but we have to recognize and realize we're just one family. And I know I've said this so many times and everyone else is saying it, but it can't be said enough that we only have ourselves to rely upon. We're one family, one Jewish people, God's people, His chosen nation. This is what we are. And everything else, all the arguments, all the disagreements, all the politics, it's all pettiness. It's all meaningless. Finally, as happened after, when I was here soon after October 7th, last year, almost exactly a year ago, still, Israelis keep thanking us for coming and showing support. You know, in Judaism, we have an idea, Bikur Cholumi, visit the sick. Menachem Avel, you have to, someone's mourning, you go visit them. Just your presence is uplifting for a person who's in a difficult situation. I'm not saying it feels like everyone's sick and mournful here in Israel. And if you walk the streets of Tel Aviv or Jerusalem or go to the beaches, no, it's not one big Shiva house. But still, it hangs over. And every time a person comes here and visits, and I know it's not easy, and it's not inexpensive, but the sense of gratitude of just coming and uplifting the people who are here, it'll be one of the most meaningful things you'll ever do in your life. So if you can, try and arrange it. At any rate, we should only look towards better and better things here in Eretz Yisrael and for Jews all over the world. Have a good Shabbat.